Hey guys, so today I want to talk about my new turntable setup. I would say that this is a major upgrade from my previous turntable setup, which I also did a video on. Previously I had a budget turntable, a Fluence RT85, and a rather budget system in general. I had the Triangle Borea BR02s, which are like $300 speakers, and the Dayton Audio HTA 100BT amp, which is a $200 amp. But this is a significant upgrade in terms of both the budget and the quality of the sound, I would say. And this is a very purposeful setup because I made sure that every component, well, nearly every component in this setup is basically from a British brand. So these are all, equipment that comes from mostly UK audio brands. And that's just because I think the UK has a great history, a great heritage of great musicians and great audio products as well, and they have many different audio brands, and they really excel actually in just the audio industry in general. So that's why, they have a lot of different audio brands, and I decided just to make a whole turntable setup based on UK brands here. So I'm just gonna go over each component a bit, and then of course I'll show you guys the sound of the system at the end. So I'm going to start off with the most expensive component here, which, as you can guess, are the speakers. So these are the neat Ministra speakers by a British company called Neat Acoustics. So what they do is they made isobaric speakers. So these are bookshelf speakers, but they have a lot of depth, as you can see. So they have a very deep cabinet. That's because they incorporate isobaric loading in their design, which means they have actually two drivers to push out the bass. So these speakers give out a lot of bass, and a lot more than you would think, given that they were bookshelf speakers. So even though they're bookshelf speakers, they actually provide a pretty good amount of bass because they're isobaric loading. And these speakers actually retail for around $2,500 US. Which is quite expensive, but I actually got them on sale for $1,500. So these are quite good speakers, I would say. They have ribbon tweeters. These are ribbon tweeters right here. And then of course they have the isobaric loaded woofer here, the paper cone, 5.25 inch. So of course the ribbon tweeters give it a more fast transient, faster response as well. So those are pretty good too. And then the cables, by the way, these are just Kimber cable 8VS's. I also got these ones on sale, I think, for about 110 bucks, I think. So they're not, I don't want to spend too much on cables and everything, right? Because, people are like, oh, cables don't matter and stuff. Okay, well, I don't exactly think they don't matter, but I also don't want to spend obscene amounts of money on them. So anyways, I put my limit around like 150 or something for the cables. And then the turntable. I was thinking for a while what turntable to get. Of course, there are a lot of British audio brands that make turntables as well, and I decided on the classic Rega P3. So the Rega Planar P3 is a legendary turntable that has been around for a long time, and this is the latest revision that came out in 2016, I believe. This is a really highly regarded turntable, mostly for the tone arm. So this tone arm is a fairly legendary tone arm, I would say. So the Rega Planar 3, brand new, costs about $1,100 US right now. That's without any cartridge. Once you put in a cartridge, of course, it's going to be more expensive than that. It's not a cheap turntable, but a lot of people consider it budget anyways, or entry level, just because you can go pretty high with turntables actually. Same with speakers. Speakers you can definitely go, thousands and thousands of dollars. So the Neat Acoustics Ministra I definitely don't consider entry level, but some people might not consider that too expensive either, because you can always spend more on speakers. But anyways, $1,100 for this turntable, and that's without the cartridge. So really, main reason to get the Rega Planar P3 is because of the tone arm. So this nice tone arm right here, and it didn't come with a cartridge. So this is the one area where I did not go British. This is a Japanese cartridge. Right, so this is the Hana SL, or Hana SL, moving coil phono cart. Retails for around $750 US. I actually got it on sale for $550. the reason I went with Japanese instead of UK for this, like I could have gone for a Rega cartridge, I guess, which would have kept it all UK, but I think just Japanese just completely dominate phono carts, right? I mean, Audio-Technica, Hana, Sumiko, Nagaoka, Lyra, like Dynavector. There's so many different Japanese brands for phono carts. Denon, right? There's another one. Yeah, I think Japan just dominate phono carts. So I think this is one area where I had to stick with Japanese, because really when it comes to phono carts, they're really kind of the experts there. As for the turntables itself, yeah, I kept that British, of course, with Rega. And then here I have some isolators here, Duke Audio isolators. They're not British, but whatever. This is just for like a $40 accessory to minimize vibration. And then down here we have the phono preamp, which is going to be Cambridge Audio, another British company. Retails for around $300, I would say, but I got these for $200. And this is the Alva Duo. So the Alva Duo, you can use both. It is a phono preamp for both moving magnet and moving coil. So obviously I'm using a moving coil cart here, so I have to get a little bit more expensive phono preamp. And why not the Alva Duo? I saw on sale for $200. So yeah, not too bad. I've generally been a fan of Cambridge Audio stuff. Just they've increased their prices recently. Which made me think, oh, should I get shit audio instead? But then I saw this on sale for the same price. Okay, might as well keep keep it British and go for Cambridge. So there we go. Also, the design is very minimalistic and, well, it's industrial looking. I would say Cambridge Audio's designs are kind of like that. And then we have a very interesting British brand called Leak Audio, because Leak Audio actually dates back to the 1930s, but just most people haven't really heard much about them because they haven't really been in business since the 70s. So they've been out of business really since the late 70s. So really many people haven't really heard of Leak Audio until they got revived as a brand. And now they came out with new amps and CD players recently. So this is the Stereo 130. It's a Class AB amp. Came out in 2020. So that's when the brand kind of got revived. And kind of has everything. It's, well, except for power. It doesn't really have too much power. It has about 45 watts, which isn't too much RMS. But it wasn't too expensive. It was like $1,200 MSRP. I got it for $1,000. Not too bad. It's not cheap for an amp. Like, of course, for the power, people might be saying, oh, $1,000 you can get more than that. More than 45 watts. But hey, I really like this look, the walnut finish. Okay, it looks very vintage. It's based on their old tube amps that they used to have back in the 1950s and 60s. So I love the retro vintage look, and the fact that this one is updated to do a lot of stuff that's more modern, right? So it has like a coaxial, 2 optical inputs, a Bluetooth, right? It has a lot of newer inputs, modern inputs as well, while keeping the old school vintage look. So that's why I like the Leak Stereo 130. And yeah, it's just this is an amp not many people really know about or have, because this is a brand that just got revived recently. But it is a very old school British brand. All right, so that's Leak Audio. And then finally the subwoofer. This is the Rel Acoustics T0 Mark III. It is a fairly small subwoofer, but it does its job. And I think I bought this mainly because of the size. Like, it's a small subwoofer that really pumps out a decent amount of bass for the size, and doesn't take up a lot of space because it's so small. But really, I'm just looking for something to give just a little bit more bass, and that's what this does. And it does it while taking up a minimal amount of space, and it looks quite modern as well. So I like the design of it, and yeah, this is fairly, I would say, people think Rel Acoustics, they're not that great value because they actually overprice their products by a bit. So this costs $500, which is kind of expensive for a small subwoofer like this. I know part of it's because of the branding and maybe the design and everything. But yeah, I got it for about $400 on sale, so it's still expensive, but not as bad as the retail. Special thing about Rel is that they use a specific input just for them actually. So if you look in the back here, they have the special cable here. This is just like a Rel high-level input cable, and supposedly according to Rel, this makes the bass I guess, sound more natural compared to most subwoofer, because most subwoofers just use a subwoofer cable or LFE input, which this does accept. It does accept a normal LFE input. But if you use the high level input here, it just takes it from the same signal as as the speakers, basically. So going out from the back of the Leak Audio, like I have it, you have to kind of hook it up right to the same terminals as to the speakers. So like basically my cables, I have of course 2 sets of cables going up to my Need Acoustics Ministra, but latched onto those as well, like there's some spade connectors that are latched on as well, and that goes into the REL. So that's the high level input for the REL. And REL apparently says if you use the same, that like if you latch on to the same kind of signal as your speakers instead of just a separate line just for the subwoofer, it sounds more natural or whatever. I don't know, like this is REL technology, of course they're going to hype it up and everything, but it's interesting they have their own tech and their own cable and their own connections, so that's really interesting. Anyways, I am using the high level REL cable for that. And yeah, so that's it. REL, of course, another British company. Leak Audio, Cambridge Audio, Rega for the turntable, and finally Neat Acoustics for the bookshelf speakers. So that's it, guys. Everything really except for the final cart, which is Japanese, is British. And this whole cost of the turntable setup, approximately $4,000, a little bit more, maybe $4,100 in total I spent on this setup. Quite a big change from my previous turntable setup. Previously I had the Triangle Borea BR02s, plus the Florence RT85, plus the Dayton Audio HTA 100BTs, and a Fozy box, I think, and an edifier. So all that, or edifier subwoofer, like all that together cost, I think it was like around $1,000, $1,200 or something like that. So yeah, really, this is like, I expanded my budget by 4x. And now I have a all UK setup, essentially. And I think probably that's also because, like, yeah, oh yeah, factoring the cartridge too. So that's like more like 4,500. So yeah, factoring the HANA cart, yeah, about 4,500 in total I spent on this this setup here. That's quite a bit. Not quite $5,000. A lot of people spend a lot of money on their turntable setups. For me, this is enough. It's still a lot of money, right? $5,000 or less, a little bit less than $5,000 to blow on a turntable setup is still quite a bit. But yeah, this is what I have so far. Need Acoustics Ministra. Oh yeah, the cables as well. So yeah, I guess 4,600 or whatever. Yeah, so the Need Acoustics Ministra, Rega Planar P3 with a HANA SL cart, Cambridge Audio Alva Duo, Leak Audio Stereo 130, and the REL T0 Mark III altogether. So all comes down to probably a little bit less than $5,000, but quite quite a significant upgrade from my previous turntable setup, which was around $1,000, a little bit more than $1,000, I'd say. So yeah, I've done all the talking. Now I'll let you guys hear how this turntable setup sounds like. So stay tuned.